Hi everybody, if you found this video, you are about to do a Christmas ornament paint pour, and we brought our kit here to Grandma and Grandpa's house, right? So we're going to make one for them. So buckle up, we're going to show you all the things to do, maybe give you some helpful hints on what not to do, right? And first we're going to show you what is in your bag. So the first thing you should have would be a foam tray. What else is in there? We have either one large ornament or you've got a kit with two small ornaments. There should be paint in all of our primary colors. So we've got blue,
yellow, red.
And then we've got some neutrals to help us mix, right?
I'm a Christmas tree, Mom.
You're a Christmas tree.
It's on my ears.
You should also have some containers or one large container of Flood. And then last but not least, some cups, some craft sticks, and some ribbon. So go ahead, get all of those things out, and then when you're ready, come back, press play, and we will talk about how to do it. Okay, so we have all of our cups set up, and Eva's told me she wants to mix 4 different colors. So you'll notice we've got 4 cups, 4 small cups. We've got 4 craft sticks, and all of these paints can create whatever color you want. So obviously you could just use straight red, straight yellow, straight blue if you want to. Take it from these cups and put it into the cups to help us mix our paint, or you can mix them together to create your own colors. So what's one of your colors that you want to mix? Oh, there you go.
Red and blue.
Red and blue is going to make purple, right? So what we're going to do is take a little bit of this red, pour it into one of our cups. Now we really don't need a ton of paint to cover these, so I'm just going to do a little bit of red. Now the paint that we're using is acrylic paint, and acrylic paint is really wonderful because it's going to stick to these ornaments and it's not going to go anywhere, which is what we want. It'll last for forever, but that also means that if you get it on your clothes, it could also live there forever too. So this would be a good time to maybe make sure you keep it off of your clothes, or put on like a play shirt, or just be extra careful. So Eva's going to stir that up to make purple. Another great thing about mixing colors is that if you create a color, did you get some on you? Here, let's wipe it on the cup. If you create a color that you don't really love, like let's say she's mixing this purple and it's too blue. It's like more of a plum purple. All she has to do is add some more red to it. So you just keep going back and forth until you get just the shade that you want. Ooh, that's a dark purple. Got it? Keep stirring.
Can you add some white to it?
So if it's too dark, we're going to add a little bit of white to lighten it up. Ready? Now you don't need very much paint, but as far as the amount goes, I would say we want to keep our cup about 1/4 to 1/2 inch deep of paint. So if you're really good with measurements, that probably makes a lot of sense to you. If you're not that good with measurements, you don't need more paint than as wide as your finger.
The purple is blue.
Oh, so does it need more red?
Yeah.
Let me hold this up really fast. When you put your finger here on the bottom of the cup, it does not need to be deeper than your finger. So try not to make any more than that. We're going to add some more red to this so we can get it less blue, more purple, right? Let's try that. Typically, red is a really strong pigment, so a little bit of red goes a really long way. And black is a very strong pigment, so if you're mixing up your own colors, you should only need little bits of those. White and yellow are our least strong pigments, so you may need more of those when you're mixing your colors. What's another color that you want?
Gray.
Gray. Okay.
No, wait, green comes next.
Green. Okay. So we're going to take some of that blue. We're going to put it into a different cup. So each of our 4 cups is going to mix 4 different colors. There's some blue.
But with almost the same colors.
Well, yeah, because we can use all of the primaries to make all of our different colors, right?
Yes. But
Here's some yellow.
I don't think black and white are primaries.
Black and white are not primaries. Black and white are neutrals, and they help us make our colors lighter or darker. You're so smart.
Okay. I love these colors. They're pretty.
All right, now Eva said she wants brown as her last color. And I've learned that oftentimes when kids make color choices, it's not usually what we would choose ourselves, but the results have always surprised me. So I try to give them as much choice and freedom in their choice as I can, because I have a funny feeling that purple, green, gray, and brown are definitely not what I would have chosen, but they're going to look really great, right? Do you think?
Green, brown is for Grandpa. Purple, green is for Grandma.
Oh, so each one, she chose her colors for different family members. That's a sweet idea. All right, stir those up for me, sister. All right. Okay, so once you've finished mixing all 4 colors, we can set our paints to the side. We don't need those anymore, and now it's time to add our secret ingredient. So we should have about 4 ounces of flood. Flood is our secret ingredient. We get this at the hardware store, and we use it as an acrylic medium, and it helps our paint run and travel and drip and drizzle over our ornament. If we were to dump the paint on the ornament right now, it would just kind of like plop, and it really wouldn't go anywhere. This is going to help it move. So what I'm going to do is take our flood, open it up, and pour equal amounts into each cup. So part of it goes in 1, 2. Now, if you've got more paint in one of your cups than you do in another one, the ones that have more paint are going to want more flood as well. So I'm trying to put more in this color where we mixed a brown, because we used a bunch of paint in this one. So about 50-50 parts flood and paint. Ready, sis? Once you've got flood in all 4 containers, you're going to stir all of them up still separately, and you want to stir it until you don't see any more flood. It's going to mix in with the paint, and we don't want to be able to see it anymore. So when flood is in all 4 cups, keep them all separate and stir until we don't see any more of the white. You going to stir? Grab one, sis. All right, once all 4 are stirred, we do not need our paint sticks anymore. The craft sticks can come out. We're going to set those to the side, and I'm just going to set it on our little foam tray. If you want to set yours on a napkin or just throw it straight into the trash, that works great, because we are done with our craft sticks, and we don't even want to be tempted to stir anymore. So we're going to take them all out.
Now let's find the ones that we need for Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah, so we're going to put all 4 colors together now, and we're going to put them all into the same cup, okay? So even though they're for Grandma and Grandpa, we're going to put them together, okay? So what we're going to do is take a little bit of each color.
Only going to do Grandpa's in this cup, and then
Even though we're putting all of the colors in 1 cup and we have 2 ornaments, it's going to look different on both ornaments. So it can still be able to represent Grandma and Grandpa. That's okay. Now what we want to do is take a little bit of each color and slowly layer it into our big cup. So we're going to do a little bit of this one. Go ahead. A little bit of that one. You can really do as much or as little as you want, but I kind of think that sometimes if we do, it's okay. If we do little layers of each color, we kind of get more marbled mixed results in the end. All right, you ready for more gray? Pour it in. You're going to do this until you run out of all of your paint in your small cup. So we're going to do this until all 4 of our paint cups are empty. Good? This is going to be interesting. We've got purple, green, gray, and our brown turned out to be like a really dark blackish brown. Do you want to do more? Okay. Purple. I think these are almost gone, so I'm going to start pouring the rest of them in. Okay. Keep going. This one. Okay. Okay, good job. All right, we're going to set that to the side for a second. Deep breath. All right, now it is time for my favorite part. This can be a little tricky, especially at home. So we've tried to figure out the easiest way to do it at home, and we're going to teach you our best tips and tricks. So the first thing we need to do is to take off the top of the ornament. We're just going to pull it right out, set it to the side, save it for when it is completely finished. Pull. It doesn't twist. There you go. Set that to the side. And we're going to set both ornaments on the tray. I actually think I'm going to do one at a time. So I'm going to leave this one to the side for now.
This is Grandma's grandpa.
Okay, and then we're going to set this down. We're going to use our big cup, and we're slowly going to drizzle and pour. You're just in time, Carter. We want a really skinny stream. Number one, because it creates really interesting results. Number two, because we don't want to put too much paint on any one side of the ornament because we don't want it to tip over. If it does tip over, that's okay. We'll just pick it back up and keep going.
It's pretty.
But
that's for Grandma and
it's a little bit easier if it doesn't tip over. So I also like to do a really slow, steady stream because I like to pause and watch it move and see where it's going. You can kind of decide where you might need to put some more paint.
Over here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's enough. Grandma doesn't have enough now.
All right, and now we're going to let that one sit. Eva's ready to do our second one, so I'm going to bring it onto the tray. Same thing over here. Little skinny stream. Now, if you're only doing one ornament, you're doing the exact same thing, but just on one large bowl. With two ornaments, we're just doing the same practice, but onto two balls.
Tiny bit more over here.
Okay.
Okay.
Now this is the great thing, like gravity is just going to do its job and it's going to start to pull all of the colors all around. If you need to, you can slowly spin your tray. You can see a little bit more of where you need some more paint.
You need some more paint on this one?
On that side?
Okay, that's enough.
Ah, that came out fast. Right here?
Yeah. Then some over here. Grandma and Grandpa are going to love it.
They're going to love these. They're going to love it even more when we clean off the table when we're done. Okay.
I'm so pain.
Sit up straight. Don't bump the table. Okay. Now, once you've got these completely covered, they're going to keep changing. Like I said, gravity's going to keep pulling the paint around. They're going to keep changing as gravity pulls it, as the paint dries. It's not going to be completely finished until tomorrow, probably. So it takes about 24 hours for this to dry. Now, that number can vary depending on how much paint you have on there, how thick your paint is, how thin it is. So the easiest way to tell is that the paint gets kind of matte finished when it's dry. So when your ornaments are no longer glossy and they don't look wet anymore, it's dry and it's ready to use. Now obviously on these trays they're sitting in a puddle, right? So the puddle is going to stay wet the longest. So what I like to advise is that this top part here and then the sides are going to dry first, and then the part that's sitting in a puddle will dry last. When the top and the sides are dry, go ahead and pick it up, turn it upside down, and let the top dry separately. You're going to take it out of the puddle, set it onto like a paper plate or a napkin or something so the top can dry. And then once the top's dry, you're going to plug these back in, tie a ribbon on top of it. You can maybe use like a paint marker to decorate it if you want to. Hang it on your Christmas tree to last a lifetime. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I would love to see how yours look. So if you want to share them with us, feel free to put it on social media. Tag us at flourishstudioandclassroom.com and have a great Christmas. Thanks so much.